Jesse, your Miami Dolphins
Yes, mine. I love them. Claim them. Yes, my Miami Dolphins.
released two players over the weekend: Bradley Chubb and Tyreek Hill.
Yep. Clear some cap.
Clear some cap. They're rebuilding. They're cutting ties. This is a higher profile version of what the 49ers did last year, where they are getting rid of players, they're taking those cap hits now and cleaning up their cap for the future, which is, I think, is the right thing to do. I would like to talk. Bradley Chubb, where are we at on Bradley Chubb as a player?
He's a good player right now. I think if I'm the 49ers, I'm taking a look at Bradley Chubb, but also I'm not really paying anything of substance for Bradley Chubb. If he wants to take one of those 1 year, $10 million deals or whatever, where it's like 10 million guaranteed, fine, come play here. Maybe I'm not paying him anything crazy.
I feel about Bradley Chubb.
He's fine.
A little bit the same way I feel about Tyreek Hill.
See, I feel much worse about Tyreek Hill.
Okay, but let me again a little bit. We'll get to the Tyreek Hill portion of this.
Yeah.
But if you're bringing in Bradley Chubb as the Bryce Huff, if you're going to cut Bryce Huff, which they might do, and bring in Bradley Chubb to be a third pass rusher, great. I'm in. Bring him in at, like you said, a 1 year.
I think he might be fine as your second pass rusher, though, next to Bosa.
Bring him in at a 1 year low dollar figure deal. I just think you have to do more.
Yeah.
On the edge. I don't think Bradley Chubb is going to totally fix your pass rush.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, on the other hand, I don't think there's a realistic thing that's going. I don't think there's a realistic version of a Tyreek Hill contract that would make me okay with the 49ers signing him.
You don't want Tyreek Hill.
I'm all the way out.
Yeah, let him go be somebody else's problem.
I'm not all the way out. I've closed the door. I'm not locking it, though.
He'll up Tyreek and all that stuff, but it's just, who knows what he's going to look like after injury coming back. And also, I don't think what the 49ers need right now. Like, yes, he's a wide receiver, but also I just don't know if that's a player you're trying to win. Like, they have a thing, like they do things the right way, and Tyreek Hill has not showed up to meetings and he's quit on his team and things like that. It's just, I don't know. I'm just completely turned off by the player Tyreek Hill is.
916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. Tyreek Hill, yes or no? For your favorite team. We're talking about the 49ers right now, but if you're a Raider fan, if you're a Tampa Bay fan,
would you
take on Tyreek Hill?
Would you take Tyreek in a first round rookie receiver? Your boy KC Concepcion?
No. Tyreek Hill. Okay, so I'm gonna leave out any of the weird like tweets and all the stuff.
He's a troll on Twitter.
Stuff. Yeah, all that stuff. I'm leaving that out of this for now. The 49ers are in this situation because Brandon Ayuk got hurt and because Ricky Pearsall can't stay healthy. If you're adding Tyreek Hill to be one of your top two wide receivers, and Juwan Jennings is going to be a free agent. If you're adding Tyreek Hill as one of your top two wide receivers, this is a 32-year-old. He's going on 32. He turns 32 on March 1. A 32-year-old coming off a dislocated knee, a torn ACL, and other torn knee ligaments. And he's going to be 32, and it's not even guaranteed he's going to play this year. He says he's going to. His agent says he's going to. Tom Pelissero from NFL Media reported yesterday, it's not exactly certain. So if Tyreek Hill is one of your answers at wide receiver, that cannot be the case.
Yeah.
That cannot be something for a team that just needs health and stability.
Feels like a Band-Aid move, and the Band-Aid barely even holding on right there.
Yeah. You have no idea if they went and did what you talked about. They used the 27th pick on KC Concepcion, wide receiver from Texas A&M, possession receiver, really fun player to watch. And Tyreek Hill. That's not enough. That's not even close to enough. Because you don't even know if Tyreek Hill is going to play.
Yeah.
And if he does, you don't know when. And if he does, you don't know how effective he's going to be.
Well, what's that speed looking like?
Yeah, what's that speed looking like? What made him specifically dangerous, though, was that like quick twitch, ball in his hands. Yeah, he can just run by anybody. But also, when he caught the ball over the middle, like he was very, very twitchy and very good at making people miss and turning in yards after the catch. Like that stuff all still matters, and who knows what that's going to look like. And that's even if he does get on the field. And so I think for the 49ers, I think one of their priorities this year has to be finding players who are healthy. Can't be a guy who fell in the draft because he tore his ACL in October and he might come back midseason, but we'll redshirt him till next year. It can't be a guy who had some injury problems early in college, and yeah, he's a little bit older now, but look, he had a breakout season last year, and the knee injuries are a thing. Like, nah, man, you have to find players who are A, good, and B, can stay on the damn field.
You need a guy you can count on when it's time to play Seattle on the Rams.
That's it.
Like that's what it's coming down to.
Okay, and that's the perfect. Does Tyreek Hill again? I want to make this very clear. This is not about Tyreek Hill, who the player was. He was a first-team All-Pro, damn near MVP. I think he finished 6th in MVP voting in 2023. That's 3 seasons ago. He was a top 10 MVP candidate, 1,800 receiving yards, bunch of touchdowns. He was amazing. But then those numbers declined a lot the following year. And then they had started to tick up before he got hurt in week 4 last year. They had started to tick up, but not even close to where he was in 2023 and before that. So we were seeing a declining player as it was.
Yep.
And now he's coming off a major knee injury. I'm out, dude. I don't want anything. Now, again, the reason I'm closing the door but not locking it, if the Niners draft a player in the first round and they trade for, I'm just going to say Justin Jefferson because that's like the biggest name I can think of. They trade for Justin Jefferson, who, again, I don't know if they will, but let's just say they do. Draft Casey Concepcion. They have Ricky Pearsall. They re-signed Juwan Jennings on a reasonable deal, and they bring in Tyreek Hill on a $4 million contract. Fine. Sure. Because maybe he could be an awesome third wide receiver. And if he doesn't play, it doesn't kill you. But if you're bringing in a player like Tyreek Hill, who's coming off a major injury at 32 years old, and you're expecting him to be some kind of fix, does he get you closer to beating Seattle?
No.
Not even. Now, yeah, again, prime Tyreek Hill, sure. Prime Tyreek Hill absolutely does. But does this version? I don't think so.
Is Justin Jefferson, is he available?
I don't know.
Or
I think he might have been before they fired Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, their GM.
Because it's like if there's any like just thought that like, hey, like that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch had was like, no, you can call the Vikings right now. Is there anything that you wouldn't offer for him right now? We don't have to give up, the next 5 first-round picks or anything insane like that. But just, Justin Jefferson costs a couple first-round picks, a third, second next year. I don't know. Make up a deal in your mind. But is there anything that you wouldn't give up for Justin Jefferson right now if he was available? That's kind of my thing. If he's even a little bit available.
It's one of those. We talk about this with the Kings a lot, right?
You can have Mac Jones.
Not all first-round picks are equal.
Yeah.
The 49ers have the 27th pick this year. If you're adding Justin Jefferson, you feel pretty good about your ability to be good again next year. I would give up this year and next year's first, for sure. And let's say Mac Jones. Let's say that's somebody that Kevin O'Connell thinks can help them. But then again, if you're trading Justin Jefferson, I don't think you're adding Mac Jones because I think you're going, all right, hey, we'll throw JJ McCarthy out there and we'll do the NFL version of tank.
The point being, like, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Within reason, because I do think San Francisco has other roster holes I need to fill. But if you want next 2 firsts and a third rounder this year, like, yeah, man, bet, do it, call it in.
Yeah.
That's not even. I feel so. You're not giving up the first pick next year for Justin Jefferson. You're giving up 27 this year and probably a pick in the mid to late 20s next year. I think every team in the league would do that.
Yeah, you just wonder what deal's out there for the 49ers because I don't think that T. Higgins is going to be going anywhere this season. I think they're going to try and do what they can defensively, whatever they can, I guess, with what money they have, and just try to figure it out one more year. And maybe the year after that is the blow up. A.J. Brown seems to be an Eagle. Well, that seems to be check back. That's the thing. Like, maybe check back in next week, and he might not be, and they might hate each other and things like that. So I'm not really sure who's out there. We did get that George Pickens was fined a bunch of times by the Cowboys last season report this weekend. Maybe they're not going to franchise him.
Can we do something? Can we take George Pickens off the table for the 49ers?
If you like, yeah.
I do not think that's a player that Kyle Shanahan wants on his football team.
Just why? Because he got that, I won't say diva, but he's a personality.
No, I just don't think. No, I think going through the type of player Kyle Shanahan wants and drafts and acquires a wide receiver, I don't think George Pickens is that. I think he's immensely talented. That's not shade of George Pickens. I'm just trying
He
to
doesn't fit what the 49ers
think.
do.
Yeah, I think what's realistic. I don't think George Pickens is it. All right, let me ask you this. Just while we're here on the 49ers, 916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. If you'd like to chime in, please do. Let's say exact same compensation, 2 firsts and a third. Let's say that's the deal. And the Raiders call the Niners and the Vikings call the Niners and say Justin Jefferson for this deal, and the Raiders say Max Crosby for this deal. Same deal. 2 first this year, third this year, first next year.
Yeah.
Which one do you say yes to?
Raiders. It was nice talking to you. I'm gonna go talk to Minnesota and get this deal done with them. Yeah, I'm trying for Justin Jefferson. Yeah. We'll get Justin Jefferson, Bradley Chubb. Congratulations, you're a 49er on a 1-year, $10 million deal. That's what I'm doing. No, yeah, I'm going Justin Jefferson.
Why?
Is
it the Seattle thing?
Yes, a little bit that, but also the game has shifted where it's like you can get by with a good defense if you have like you can kind of be what the Rams were this season. The Rams could hang with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
No matter how great the Seattle's defense was, just the Rams had that offense where it's like, yeah, we can match up still and kind of go toe to toe with them. And I think that's kind of the route you need to take because I feel like you're much farther away if you're trying to build up a defense the caliber of Seattle and trying to compete that way. I think you're a lot closer if you add Justin Jefferson, takes a little bit off of CMC. You're not putting so much on his table. I mean, you're going to have to figure out what you're doing at tight end. You have to fix up the rest of the receiver room. But Justin Jefferson is probably one of the 5 best football players, just no regard of position in the league right now. I mean, you can say top 10, whatever you want, but point being, he's really good. He makes an impact anywhere on that offense. So you get him, you're able to put up points. Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. So you have like maybe a top 12 to 10 defense, just kind of short around there. You got Bosa and Fred Warner back kind of leading there. It's like, I'd rather go with Justin Jefferson.
Okay, what if I change that name to A.J. Brown? Instead
Max
of
Crosby.
Jefferson.
Max Crosby.
So Jefferson's the one receiver you would.
He's one of one. He's a one of one type of receiver in this league. One of one type of football player in this league.
That's what's going to be really interesting because I think San Francisco, if I'm asking them, although the need at receiver might be so big, this changes, but they have compared pass rusher in terms of importance to quarterback.
Yeah.
Like it is quarterback, then pass rusher, because pass rusher affects quarterback. That's how they view the sport. And that's how they view defense. And I wonder if they're looking at, okay, Nick Bosa coming back off an injury, his 3rd ACL tear. Michael Williams, a second-year player coming back off an ACL tear. I'm wondering if they're looking at, and they go, okay, Bradley Chubb would be great. But Max Crosby is a game-altering player. Where if Nick Bosa goes down, A, their pass rush doesn't completely go away, but B, when they're both healthy, A, you have a pass rush that might affect Sam Darnold. You have 2 edges that can defend, 2 edge defenders that can stay on the field and defend the run at a really high level. And is that enough to A, make Deommodore Lenoir even better, to help Renardo Green improve? Can Marquise Siegel and Malik Mustafa be enough in your secondary? Fred Warner coming back, D. Winters. Now all of a sudden you have this defense that, okay, maybe it's not Seattle, but you can really impact Seattle's offense in a way that your defense doesn't, or your offense doesn't need to be at that caliber.
Yeah, but what is your offense though? Because we'll talk about Christian McCaffrey later on. But like George Kittle is coming off of his injury.
Sure.
We're looking at the wide receiver room. That's really nothing there. Like Ricky Pearsall, you drafted him in the 1st round. That's great. The guy doesn't really stay on the field.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall is a non-factor to me right now.
Jawan Jennings, you have to bring him back, and also he is not a wide receiver 1, and
no doubt,
barely a wide receiver 2. He's one of the best wide receiver 3s in the league. So it's just there's too much offensively, where it's just you got to do something there. I feel like, and it's like it's you can get by on defense. I think, just like I said, with Fred and Bosa coming back, maybe you bring in a Bradley Chubb, because I think Bradley Chubb he can still get to the quarterback. He's not a top tier pass rusher or anything like that, but I think he can take some. Well, if Bosa's taking the double teams or whatever, then say, yeah, Bradley Chubb can get to the quarterback. Like I said, Fred Warner will be back. I just think that you need more offensively given their circumstances. Like I don't disagree with what you're saying,
right. No,
but
you're
like defensively, it'll help him out big time if you get Max Crosby. Like that's just one of the premier pass rushers in the league. He's better than Nick Bosa right now. But you just need too much offensively to compete still.
Yeah, that's
I think you can get by defensively and win. And what I mean by defensively
Where
get
am I-
by, like you can be the 12th, 10th best defense, but offensively you can't get to that point, I think.
Where my brain is going, I can't. Hey, Joe, can we get the thing? Thanks. Where my brain is going is how they compare against the rest of the league. And I think you're hitting the nail on the head, and that I don't think it's that complicated. They have to beat Seattle.
Mhm.
The NFC, until further notice, goes through Lumen Field.
Yep.
And while I think I have zero doubt about the impact Max Crosby would have on the 49ers or any team, Raiders, Niners, or otherwise, I do think that when it comes to stacking up against Seattle, I think you have to add another receiver, at least one. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade for a receiver. It might not be Justin Jefferson or AJ Brown. It might be, I have no idea, but they go sign Christian Kirk. They go draft a receiver in the first round. It wouldn't shock me at all if they try to completely overhaul their receiver room, because it is. You look at Christian McCaffrey; he's turning 30. George Kittle's 33, coming off an Achilles tear. They have nothing at wide receiver.
Yeah.
God love Ricky Pearsall, but when he's on the field, he's very good.
And let's say that the 49ers are able to turn their defense a top 7, top 5 defense. Like, wow, they're great. You look at the Seattle Seahawks, and what sets them apart is that they have the offensive player of the year still. Like, they have JSN. Sam Darnold had a great year. And if you look at the 49ers, what are you throwing on the other side then offensively if you're bringing in the Max Crosby? It's not Juwan Jennings.
It's
Christian McCaffrey just had an insane amount of touches right now.
You're crossing your fingers for Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah,
and you're crossing your fingers that George Kittle comes back sooner than you think, and he comes back fully healthy. And you're crossing your fingers that Christian McCaffrey is a one of one in terms of being able to replicate his success after having 450 touches in a season.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's viable. In fact, I know it's not. So I think you're probably right. I think there needs to be a massive overhaul in their receiving corps. And when they look defensively, I think you probably see, instead of going and trading for Max Crosby. Now I should say, this is if there's a major wide receiver trade available and Max Crosby is available. Neither may be the case, or maybe just one or the other, where this is not a dilemma. But if there's not a game-changing, game-altering wide receiver trade out there for the 49ers, I think you see them active in free agency, signing at least one, maybe two wide receivers. I think you see them draft one early. I think you see them draft a defensive end early. But I think they're going to be way more active in free agency this year, because you have two choices. You're at this tipping point of, do you go all in? Do you push your chips in and say, okay, we need to compete with Seattle now? And you do that and go for it this year while you still have some version of your core with Trent Williams and Kyle Juszczyk and George Kittle and Nick Bosa and Fred Warner? Or do you say to hell with it, pull the plug, and go, hey, let's see what we can get for Nick Bosa in the trade market? Let's see what we can get. Is there some team desperate that could use Trent Williams for a year? And see if we can get a day 2 pick for Trent Williams.
Yeah.
See if you can get a first round pick for Nick Bosa. Like, that's your other option. I don't think that's an option on the table for the 49ers.
How do you feel about Mike Evans, a rookie receiver? We're out on the Tyreek Hill thing. Mike Evans was hurt last year. Kind of wondering if still got some juice left to him, but
yeah, see, Mike Evans falls into the same bucket. Again, this is not I am very pro Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah.
But when you look at, what is he, 32 now? 33?
Yeah, 32.
32, and he turns 33 in August. So he'll be going into his age 33 season. He's dealt with injury stuff the last couple of years. I think I'm out.
Okay.
They played 8 games this year. What did he do against Seattle, though? Did he play against Seattle? Hang on. This might change my mind. Stand by.
Ooh, we might have won one.
Hang on. Didn't play against Seattle.
Yeah. Bucks fan Zabo says don't put that into the air. He's staying in Tampa. I don't know.
I don't
know. Yeah, seems like he's out of there.
Nah.
I'm interested in Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Christian Kirk can, if you re-sign Juwan Jennings and you bring in Christian Kirk. No, but even then, like, I don't think if you're drafting a receiver in the first round, I don't think it's enough.
They got to trade for someone.
Defense is so good.
You have to make the move. You have to make the Christian McCaffrey move. It's time. It's time.
Or trading way up in the draft and going and getting Mekhi Lemon or something.
Yeah. Just
from
getting you
USC.
need the guy now.
You need a star.
Mhm.
This scheming people open is not going to work against Mike McDonald, man. He's too good of a coach. He's too good of a defensive coach.
Yeah.
I've heard people refer to him as defensive Sean McVay. Like, that sounds horrifying. You're not gonna out scheme him. It's just it didn't happen when he was in Baltimore. It didn't happen in 3 games when he was in Seattle. You were a Reek Woolen mistime jump away from scoring 19 points in 3 games against Seattle this year.
Do you think the scheming receivers open has a glass ceiling to it come
Yes.
time?
Yes. 100%.
Okay. I asked because I was thinking about this last night. Like, the Rams have Puka and Devontae Adams. Like, the Seattle has JSN. Then you look at the Broncos. Like, they have Cortland Sutton. He's like a wide receiver 1, I feel. He's not just a guy.
Oh, I don't know if Cortland Sutton's a 1.
Well,
that's nitpicking.
He's kind of like the bar, though, I feel.
Okay.
But point being is, like, yeah, I wonder if, because like Denver and the Patriots, I guess, would be that argument, unless like you still bought in on Stephon Diggs. And like I said, Cortland Sutton's kind of the bar for me. But it's like he kind of teeters just that line.
They remind me of the Hawks. What you're talking about reminds me of the Hawks in the mid 2010s, where they have this awesome team, like team wise.
Yeah, the Golden Tates and all that.
Really good. No, Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, Atlanta Hawks. Excuse me.
Where team wise, like top to bottom, are really good. It's Al Horford and
Paul
Kyle Korver's
Millsap
out there running around, and Paul Millsap and George Teague. It's like, man, what a team. They won 60 games.
Yeah.
But when you get to the playoffs, like, you just got to have the dude.
Oh, LeBron swept them.
Like, right. And that's where the whole like scheming receivers open.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's super cool to a point. At some point in a game, in a play, in a set of plays, in a drive, you need one guy to just take over. You just say, get the ball in that guy's hands and let him be awesome. I think Debo was that player for a year. I think Brandon Ayuk had the potential to be that player. I think Christian McCaffrey was that player. And great. But at some point, I mean, you saw it in the second Super Bowl against the Chiefs. But Debo could not get open. I think he had 13 targets and like 3 catches.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get open. And scheme only gets you when you get to the Super Bowl and a team has 2 weeks to prepare for you. And that team probably has a good defense, if not a great defense. I just don't think you have a shot. And I think when you look at Kyle Shanahan's history against Mike McDonald, the scheme stuff isn't going to work. You got to have the dudes. You got to have the dudes who can win up front. You got to have the dudes who can win in the second and third levels. They just don't have that right now.